doesn't matter that it was 2019. You couldn't have forgotten one or two themes that the two of you were engaging about. You couldn't. You are simply not being truthful in this regard. I cannot but make that suggestion to you.
Honestly speaking, Chair.
No, you are not.
Honestly.
You are not being honest, Chief Mashaba. You are not. You are not. You are adopting that stance because you know that this trail of emails brings you so close to Mr. Nku in ways that have nothing to do with what you have been telling us about, but more about your involvement in this drug bust. I take it, Ms. Lee Seagulls, it will still, through these chats, take you to a point where that becomes even clearer. Your involvement with Mr. Nku had nothing to do with him being your informer, and that your involvement on the 9th of July, 2021, had nothing to do with him being your informer. You want to comment? Of course, we are still going to go through these chats. Do you want to comment on what I've just said?
My involvement with him on the 9th had everything to do with the drug bust.
And I started, and I started by saying, surely, if from March to May you appear not to have been engaging on several or numerous themes, but at best for you, maybe two at the most, there is no way you would have forgotten what you were engaging on.
But honestly speaking, Commissioners, 7 years ago, it's a long time for me to can easily remember what was actually happening.
You see, I would understand you. I'm actually very forgetful. But forgetful as I am, if there was only one thing that I was engaging with a particular person on, that fact, the fact of the engagement, the nature of the engagement, I would remember. What I would not remember perhaps would be blow-by-blow accounts of our interactions. That's totally different. What you are telling us is that you don't even remember the nature of those engagements. Surely you are not being truthful. You are simply not being truthful.
Commissioners, I just don't know how to put it, but I'm saying if these chats will lead us to something that will be proven to me, not that I'm in defense, something that will be proven to me that you've been denying, this is what you've been doing.
You are not not even denying thus far. All you are telling us, response after response, is I have forgotten. I have no recollection.
And I'm being honest, Commissioners, I totally forgot. Until you get to exactly reminding me, okay, you've been saying you don't forget, you don't remember. I want to put it to you, this is what you've done in 2019, finally.
Yes.
At page 98, you say, just waiting for you, Tumza. This is on the 22nd of May at 4:18 in the afternoon. And then he, at 8:37 that evening, he sends you this picture in response to you saying, waiting for you. He sends you the picture, he gives you a name, you ask for more details. You said, get and send more details. That's at page 100. And then, as Ms. Sigals has read for you, bring more, maybe surname and shift times so we can quickly visit. That's you saying. And then he says, I'm waiting. I'll get by 9:30. You do thumbs up. And then you say, Bo Peter can't wait. And then you have a laughing emoji. He apologizes for the delay and says, my guy is still at the mosque. Sorry, boss, he's working in the morning shift. If they go, it must be around 6 p.m. this evening. And then he gives you Emirates and counter number 50 to 58. He says, that's from my guy. Remember the last thing you did, you asked for details.
Yes, Commissioners.
So he gives you Emirates and a counter number, and then you say, okay, at the bottom of 101. And then you say next Tumza at 102, and then you send a picture of the airport, the check-in counters, which 3 of them appears from the color to be Emirates. And then you write, you say, here now. So you've got that sequence. Remember you started off by saying, so we can go and visit in the morning. Shift times, give me shift times, you said, remember. So we can quickly visit. That's what you said after he sent you the picture. And then he comes back. He does give you time. He says, guy is got it. It must be around 6 p.m. this evening. So he's given you shift times of Kensani that you asked for. And then he gives you the details. It's Emirates. He gives you counter numbers. And then he sends you a picture. So you must know what this is about. It's not every day you and even in 2019, that you and Mr. Nku were discussing Emirates flights and counters and people who work shifts that you were going to visit. You have to remember, you must remember what this was about.
On this one, Commissioners, I remember just a little bit on this one.
All right, let's
And
try.
then it goes back to my communication with Mashiko. On this one, I now remember when you're saying to me, Kensan. On this one, Nku had a problem that somebody I can't remember if it was gold or either gold or platinum. Nku needed help. I remember now when you're talking Kensani. Nku needed help to say, do you know Hausa and these other guys? Because there is that thing, I can't remember is it gold or platinum. They stole it from the airport. I said, I don't know, but I can find out who those guys are. Because I know that name. It's in our circle of friends or something like that. I know, Nku needed assistance that, can you please get me Hausa's number so that I meet with him? I tell him what or can he assist to recover that thing that belongs to somebody that Nku knows. That's when I got to look for Hausa and the other 2 guys. It's only now that we're talking Kensan that I remember. That is the reason why I met Mashiko. I wanted Mashiko to assist Nku about maybe recovering whatever that was lost at the airport, because they were working there, or they still working there. I don't know.
Okay.
Exactly. After, he says Emirates, counter 50 to 58. So he's telling you, that's the only way of reading this. He's telling you where to find Kensani. He works the day shift and they must go and grab him in the evening. And then you say, at the bottom of that 101 page, you say, okay. Next page, you send him the picture of check-in counters.
Yes, Commissioner.
You see that. And then you say, that's at 7:22:25. And then at 7:22:30, you say, here now. And at 7:22:38, you send him a pin location.
Yes, Commissioners.
Yes, and then you say, get a surname. And what I'm saying to you is you actually went to the airport yourself. You were not forwarding this information that Mr. Nku gives you. You were not forwarding it to Gauza, or even if you forwarded it to Gauza, you actually went to the airport yourself.
I agree, I went,
Yes.
but not accompanying Hausa and them.
Yes.
Yes, I went.
Okay.
Just to take you back, just to take you back to page 63, this is another incident where you are at the OR Tambo airport and you're asking for details of the baggage guy, and you place yourself there because you say in the third last chat, I'm on the ground now. Are you on page 63?
Yes, Commissioners.
Do you see that?
Which one exactly?
The third last chat, so third from the bottom?
We're on the ground now.
Yes.
Yes, Chair.
So you are referring to yourself and Hausa and other people, because what then follows on page 64 is that you had a meeting with Hausa and them. So there must have been an incident in February of 2019 when you were at the OR Tambo International Airport and you asked for details of one of the baggage guys, and those details were provided to you by Mr. Nku.
Yes, what's the question, Commissioner?
What were you doing with Mr. Nku at OR Tambo International Airport that required that you get details of the baggage guys?
I think I was maybe introducing him to Hausa and them.
For what purpose?
For him, because he needed assistance. There's dollars that got stolen at the airport.
No, but that's the May incident. This is a different incident in February. Do they get stolen twice?
That is the only thing that I could remember when you mentioned Kensan. But for this one, I'll be lying.
Does this not have to do with the stolen gold or platinum? Because if you read the earlier chat, this is the chat we went through earlier where you said you will bring back Nku's dignity to his bosses. Is that why you then involved these four people, because you guys are trying to recover whatever that was stolen?
I think so. Yes, Commissioner.